backtracking completely.
Yeah, I don't know what we even talked about before
With
that.
so many tangents.
I was so
Tangents make good interviews, though.
do.
In the lead up to the album, I got a real kick out of the trailer video you guys made. It was like, we need to have a talk. It's very solemn. You're like, you need East 9th in your life. So talk a little bit about why'd you decide to do that, and as a local band, about just promoting yourself and getting gigs and getting out there.
Well,
Go ahead.
I wanted to do some kind of video, and I wasn't sure what exactly we were gonna do. And we actually had like a little get together, band meeting, nothing serious.
No, it
but-
really was a band.
Yeah,
meeting.
I had a
We
table and waters and notepads.
I walked in like, we're serving nothing. Yeah.
But
We even had bottled water.
Olives?
I was trying to think. I was like, okay, guys, how can we make a video that people actually watch or find amusing to announce the album? And I don't know, I had this very bland, plain thought in my mind. But then he's like,
No, yeah, that's
do
what I did.
PSA.
I think what you said was we'll have some shots of us playing, and we'll promote it that way with text. Is that what?
just
basic
what
idea?
what most bands
Yeah.
usually do. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just people have seen it
Yeah.
and a lot of times. So we want to think of something different, and he had the
that was
different
the
idea.
I was just I can't get this idea out of my mind. Having this really serious conversation. And at first, the impression is, they really they need something. There's some message here.
Yeah.
You gotta listen. There's something serious. And I couldn't get that out of my head. It's dude, we have to do this message. We have to make this parody video where it sounds like we're gonna talk about starving children, which is not a funny thing, but something like that. So
Chainsaws and little kids.
no, chainsaws and little kids. That's better. But I sat down. We started writing it out, and then it led to this.
We just
This
really
really
started
fun-
running with it. We just all started putting lines
Yeah.
down, and we had this thing, and it was fun to make, and it did well online. I mean, a lot of people saw it. We got a lot of traction. We got a lot of engagement on our Facebook page with that, and on Instagram. And we always are running different polls and stuff on our Twitter, just different random stuff. On Pie Day, we did what's the best kind of pie, just to see, and a lot of people
All about engagement.
deep questions.
All
We
about
need to bring
engagement.
back deep questions with these
Oh
guys.
yeah, we should do that.
Here's a question for the listeners. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Working at the Scrappers, we wrapped many a hot dogs. They don't
Thousands.
always stay one piece of bread. Sometimes they break apart. Is that then a sandwich?
That's a sandwich.
I think that has to be a sandwich.
Sandwich.
Yeah. Because they call
Yeah.
it a sausage sandwich, and it's the same premise as a hot dog. It's a really debatable question.
Let me just throw my 2
I'm
cents
saying-
in
Okay,
there.
let's see what Steve says.
Okay, so
Steve sense.
I can understand both sides of it. It can't be a sandwich if the bread's connected. But many times the bread. Well, hold on. The bread. Hear me out. The bread comes apart many times in a hot dog, right?
Indeed.
So maybe that could be a good viewpoint. That becomes a sandwich. And I just want to justify this conversation because you need to know this stuff if you're going to play Sandwich Punch. Okay?
What's sandwich punch?
Sandwich Punch. Are you serious?
Go ahead.
Oh,
Sandwich punch?
Enlighten me.
Really?
I don't know either.
Is that where you punch a
You know
sandwich and it
sandwich
becomes a
punch?
You
panini?
don't, wait, you're in high school and you never played Sandwich Punch.
Oh, man.
Okay,
I think
this
that was just your school.
Steve's,
local thing. Okay.
Steve's from Ashtabula. He's different.
Oh Lord.
It's a
Okay.
regional.
Yeah, it's definitely regional.
Okay,
like
sandwich
5+ years
sandwich
younger.
punch. Let's say you are in a crowd, group of friends, whatever, right? And you order a sandwich. Now, if you take a bite of the sandwich and you leave the table and the sandwich is just sitting there, uncovered, nothing over it, any wrap or whatever. Let's say you go to McDonald's, right? You get a sandwich, you eat it, and you don't put it back in the wrap that it came in, right? Then it is perfectly legal in the game of Sandwich Punch for one of your friends to punch it when you leave. Voice crack.
Shout out to Voice Crack.
So you have to cover it. You have to cover it, right? Like we did at the lunch table in school. You have to cover the sandwich with tin foil the tin foil it came in. If you don't cover it, it gets punched.
I think this is
So
a
it's a literal
And
sandwich
you
punch.
can punch it as many times as you want. I mean, you could flatten the damn thing.
I think this is an Ashtabula thing.
What is the strangest venue you've ever played? Where's the strangest?
I know. I already thought.
Wait,
of it.
as a band or as an individual?
I kind of want to hear individual because I know Steve's played in a lot of bands.
Okay. Maybe it is the strangest place, but it was definitely the environment. And for what kind of band it was just the situation was really awkward. We were kind of like a really heavy, almost like a metal goodness, what do you call those bands? Like gent or something? I don't know.
Gent,
Like,
does it gent?
whatever it is. And I actually had to like fill in for our singer who couldn't be there, and we did like 2 or 3 songs for like a pavilion show, right? I don't think I've like ever told this story to like
No, I
anyone.
never heard. I didn't know you sang.
Oh my goodness. No, I was the guitar player in the group. And long story short, I mean, we were playing in a pavilion, like in a park, like locally, like in Ashtabula Township, and I don't know what exactly the event was, but it definitely something that was not for a metal band, not for scream vocals at all. It must have been
Is
like
that a banjo? I don't think we should be here.
I think it was some kind of like church gathering or something. Like, it was like a gospel church gathering or whatever, and like the drummer happened to like, you know, his parents they belonged to a gospel church, and this event was kind of set up by a gospel church, and so like all the members and whatnot were there at, you know, at this park, and we're here playing the pavilion, like, oh look, it's you know, it's so and so's son playing drums in the band, and we start, and I'm like screaming into a microphone.
Oh yeah.
That was awkward.
I'm in this church band called Revive. Shout out to Revive.
This is gonna be good.
And we were scheduled to play this end of summer parade in Girard, and it rained. So like the only thing that wasn't electronically based were the drums, and I'm the drummer. And they were like, just solo. I had to strain myself for like an hour just playing a drum solo.
I remember.
And I'm like,
I was there, and I remember the flatbed went by, and like all the other people were just waving, and he's like, okay.
I'm like started playing with my hands. Like I broke my snare in the process.
Yikes.
Like I went to turn my snares back on, and the latch just busted.
all
And I
the
was
way
like,
down State
great.
Street.
I never
Gerard.
knew about that. That's terrible.
Yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
that happened. No, I
then
remember him
some-
telling me about it. Like, oh yeah, we have a generator, and we're gonna play our songs as we go. We're gonna do like 6-7 songs, and
then it was
they
just
couldn't
like,
use it.
just play. I got so sweaty because it's like August and it just rained, so it's humid. Playing a drum solo for an hour. Then some very kind gentleman, his name was Nick. I don't know what company.
Shout out
he
Nick.
worked for. And he gave me $50. I wasn't expecting to get paid for any of it. He was like, I was saying something about how I just broke my snare and I'm
go
so
buy your
sweaty.
ego.
And he handed me $50. He said, "Go get your snare fixed." That was great. I said, "Thank you so much, sir." And it was just one of the weirdest things I've had to do.
That's crazy.